gentlemen. We can knock that right on out. So everybody, while I'm chopping it up, it would be great if you can go there and let's get that goal popping. But I'm gonna get some calls from the family in a second. A few things we gotta touch on. Did you guys see earlier? They had a story about Taylor Swift. There's always this thing where they have to try to find a way to one up a black person, especially a foundational black American, especially our superstars. We are the pinnacle. We are the thing that they judge their successes by. So if they can manufacture some type of win against us, no matter how fickle, petty, or miscalculated or out of context it is, they'll take it. As long as it has the aesthetics of a win, they'll take it. It doesn't matter. You know, they do this with Beyonce. Beyonce just finished a phenomenal tour. Phenomenal tour. Everybody's talking about her tour. She had social media buzzing. This sister did a phenomenal tour. I hate that I missed it. And they were talking about the tour afterwards. Well, Beyonce came second place to Elton John, and yeah, it was a good tour, but she just it didn't top this white one over here. But they don't put the right context in. The Beyonce did way less days than the Elton Johns and these other people they're comparing her to. They never put it in context. I think Beyonce did like a 55 city tour, if I'm not mistaken. And Elton John, they're calculating a tour he did for a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. So they do that. They try to make these false comparisons so that they can hold up the sheet and say, "Hey, look at these guys. Look at how much we're doing so much better than them." So now they got something with Taylor Swift, and you know they prop up Taylor Swift like crazy. They're talking about Taylor Swift's Eras Tour movie opens to $128 million globally, breaking the record for a concert film set by Michael Jackson, This Is It, in 2009, which grossed $74 million. Here's the thing, and Michael's family pointed this out. This Is It is not a concert film. It's not a concert film. It's a behind the scenes documentary. It's not a concert film. It's a behind the scenes documentary. There's no concert. But they don't put that in context. And a lot of people have been trying to correct this narrative that these media outlets have put up about it, even in the community notes. Notice they don't let you put community notes debunking white lies. Now, when we say something, they let these white supremacists put false community notes on our stuff all the time. That's what I told people. Community notes were made for us. You know, the white supremacists, they always find a way to try to rig the game. And that's their way of rigging the game. When we get out certain narratives, they throw a community strike on us or a community note where some random white supremacists, they're allowed to debunk a tweet or anything that we put out there because they got fellow travelers working at Twitter. You see. So we got to know how the game is rigged and understand how it's rigged. There's always this wannabe one-upmanship that they got to have over us. This is why it's very important that we control our narratives, especially on the grassroots level. It's extremely important that we control our narratives because we have so many people coming out lying. Did y'all see? I put up an article. They're talking about family. I told y'all this was coming. We got to shout out the Asian Pacific Island pioneers of hip hop. I told y'all that was coming up next. I told y'all that was coming. And here they go. They got some woman named Sophia Chang. They keep parading her around. I talked about her the other day. She's a hip hop manager. She managed some people, but they're parading this woman around like a pioneer of hip hop. There's this whole, just a desperate craze to try to erase us from our culture by dogpiling everybody else on top of our culture and calling them pioneers. Family, if you read the article about the Asian pioneers, you know who the pioneers are? And this is, you want to know a reach? They're breaking their arm with the reach. One person who's an Asian pioneer of hip hop, Fresh Kid Ice, the Asian guy from the Two Live Crew. Y'all remember him? He died a few years ago. Rest in peace. They're naming him as one of the Asian pioneers. I mean, literally. Anyway, who else? They got one of the Asian dudes from the Black Eyed Peas family. They're so desperate. Nobody even knows dude's name. I said, nobody knows dude's name. You don't even know what he sounds like. I don't even know if they let them dudes rap on the records. They just kind of dance in the background. So the Asian dude from Black Eyed Peas, I think he's Filipino. So they got him listed as a pioneer. I think they got the Booyah tribe as Pacific Island pioneers. So the reach is incredible. And the reason why they do this, family, let me tell y'all, they do this type of disrespectful stuff because way too long, and I was just speaking with some pioneers early on the phone. Um, we don't do enough to stop these people and make noise about it. See, the thing is, it's up to us, and I'm talking to you, the grassroots. When we talk about the grassroots is not just me. All of you listening, and I'm not talking about the white supremacists who hate watch and hate listen, or the musty tethers who just kind of hate listen. I'm talking about the riders. You are the grassroots. You are the grassroots. The grassroots is you. That's you. We need you to be codified and get the messaging out, debunk the false narratives, and just stay on code with all of us so that we can keep these false narratives out the lexicon. Because when we do things to aggrieve or offend other groups, they start punishing us. They use their media to punish us. That's why the minute we say something they don't like, they got us running around apologizing and bowing down. You dig? That's because they're on code. They can do that to us because they're on code with each other. They sit here and play the kumbaya game. They're not on that kumbaya game for real, for real. Behind closed doors, they're on code with each other against us. They understand how it's warfare out here. Look at how this Palestinian Israeli thing is going. How people are trying to almost shame us to take a side, even if we support Palestine. Oh, you guys are anti-Semitic. If you support Israel, oh, you guys are fascist, or you guys are this. If we don't say nothing, oh, why are you guys not saying? Why are you being neutral? Why are you niggas on the fence about this? So it's like three ways damned if you do, don't, or do. It's three ways damned. You dig? My wife is over here pushing buttons, loud ass fan. Ma'am, what are you doing, ma'am? But like I said, we got to get on code like that. Because I was talking to some of the pioneers early on the phone, and they made a good point to me. They were like, you know what? The reason why the Fat Joes and these people and these Latinos can get away with lying and just saying reckless shit, because there is no mechanism to check them. Now, you guys, the grassroots, you're the only ones checking these people. Let's keep it above. You guys right here, you guys, the grassroots, you guys are the only ones checking them. Us, you, us, me, you, us. And I'm included in that because this is why we got this movie coming out. We're the only ones holding them asses to the fire. We're the only ones doing it. A lot of people in the industry, they're not going to do it because we got to understand in the music industry, a lot of these A&R reps at these labels are white Hispanic. A lot of the people at these labels are white Hispanic. The executives are white Hispanic now. They've strategically put white Hispanic gatekeepers in all areas of the music industry, especially radio. I've talked about this many times in radio on the East Coast, West Coast, and in the South, in these key markets, Florida, like Miami, New York, out here on the West Coast, these very key markets. The program directors are Hispanic for the most part, and hell, most of the DJs are. So these Negroes don't want to rock that boat, so they won't say nothing. So when these folks go out here talking about the Latino pioneers, these niggas get the buck in their eyes. Is you gonna play my record? If you gonna play my record, I sure go along with it. You know, they just go along with it. Well, I'm not trying to get no record played. We're gonna tell this truth. It's important to get the truth out there to let folks know what's going on. And again, we have to start creating a mechanism where there's a punishment thing there, where you're not going to get that shine. You're not going to get to say something reckless and then go run and host a so-called black show. See, everybody has to be checked. BET has to be checked with a lot of shit that they get away with that doesn't represent black society. We got to understand BET is a white-owned network right now. You dig? They have to be hollered at. Hey, y'all can't keep showing these wild, ridiculous ass images of us. You're white executives doing this stuff. Y'all can't keep doing that. You understand? We have to say something. Y'all can't have hood rats in the aisle twerking and pregnant and just raggedy plantation shit. You understand? So we have to keep the feet under the fire with those checkings and those narratives. We have to check that. So that's why, man, the movie Microphone Check is extremely important, man. This is a very, very important film. And we got to get everybody's energy on it to support it, man. You go to microphonecheck.com because we need that energy. This is very, very important because it's up to us, the grassroots, to make that difference. Now let's get some calls in here because we got a lot of folks in here. Now we got one nigga. I don't know if I want to get him. He got his shirt off. I don't know what you're trying to get into, brother. All right. Okay, brother. I'm gonna let you on. You say you do Muay Thai. You do martial arts. I hope that's why your shirt is off. All right. Well, I get you on, but it better not be nothing moist. All right, William, hop on, man. We're gonna get William, then we're gonna get Afro Elite, and then we're gonna get Miss D. We're gonna get a lot of folks lined up. Then we're gonna get Maestro, and then we're gonna get Tweet. All right, so William, you wanna try, brother? Where you at?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, Will?
Peace, God, peace. My name William Cavalli. They call me Speed Kills. Um, what I want to do is I want to give you a big shout out. People like you, Neely Fuller, Francis Cress Wilson, for helping me identify fight white supremacy the way it's supposed to be identified and fought. I've been a 5%er since I was like 17. Been doing martial arts
Mm-hmm.
my whole life. I fight professionally, and I had knowledge of self, but it was the things that y'all put in my head, that the lessons y'all gave me that really helped me identify the shit and fight it. Now, as far as the hip hop shit, I'm from New York. I'm from Bed-Stuy.
I
My
hear a
uncle,
Caribbean accent though.
nah. My ancestors, I'm Geechee from North Carolina,
Oh, cool. Okay,
Alabama.
there it is.
What's up?
Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, there it
Yeah.
is.
We from Whitakers, North Carolina, Itala, Alabama, and Virginia. I could trace my
Yeah.
ancestry back to the 1870 census, Ronnie Pittman. Um, Yeah, but as far as the hip hop shit, my uncle Little Nut, rest in peace, he died this year. He was with a gang called the Dynamite Brothers back in the '70s, and they was linked up with the Tomahawks here in New York. Now he said that when they used to go to the Bronx, I remember I brought up back in like 2006. I said Jamaicans started the toasting, right? And Puerto Ricans, he said, nah, it wasn't no goddamn Jamaicans. He said if they was, they wasn't telling you they was Jamaican. First of all,
Right.
and
Right.
my enlightener, another 5%er, the guy, the brother that gave me lessons, he's a black Puerto Rican. I brought that up to him. Now he could have told me, yeah, we was there. He said, nah, that was just brothers. That was y'all. That was y'all people. Like that was y'all that brought that
Right.
into existence. So it's people out here that will tell the truth, but it's real far in between. But I'm not going.
And you know what? And you know what? And also, you being a 5%, we talk about that in this new movie because there's a big connection. The rise of the 5%. teachings that went right along with the early days of hip hop. In fact, Kool Herc was down with the 5%ers. A lot of folks don't know that.
Yeah, so back in the day, like I'm only 34. I'm only 34, but I've been
Yeah,
around a bunch of older brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's older dudes here in Brooklyn, New York, I probably know most of them, and I built with a lot of them. So I heard a lot of the stories. I heard a lot of people that was supposed to be down. Like Busta Rhymes supposed to be a 5%er. He's supposed to be,
yeah,
but I don't know. He's on this whole separation tip. I don't know where this came from because in the beginning he was on our shit. He was kicking knowledge. He was talking about us in his music, but that's a
yeah.
foundational Black American thing. Father Allah is from
Right.
Virginia. He's not
Yes,
from the
indeed.
West
Clarence
Indies.
13 next. That's right.
So
That's
so
right.
it's crazy when he's saying that now. Like, where is this coming from? Who's pushing this? Who's telling him to say this? So it's crazy because uh my uncle, once again, little nut, this dude is a legend. He will always tell me like, yo, we started all of this, we gave them the culture, we, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I just saw black people as black. I didn't really understand it was the difference until I went to Mega Evers College, and then you had a bunch of West Indians saying, y'all black Americans this, y'all black Americans that, y'all lazy. And I was like, yo, why y'all here?
Right. 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 Real
Yo, I
talk.
ain't gonna I ain't gonna hold
Man.
you up too much, but yo, I appreciate you. It's a pleasure to finally get to speak to you. And peace. I'm gonna land my plane.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, real talk, man. So yeah, we talk about that in the movie. That's another element that's really not talked about in relation to hip hop. This movie is going to reveal a lot of stuff. We talk about the rise of the 5% Nation and how that clicked in with hip hop and how that kind of created beefs. Oh, it's deep, man. We go so deep in this movie. We go so deep in this movie. Y'all really got to be a part of this. Let's get Afro Elite in here. What's up, brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, fam?
I'm good. I'm good. I want to say that what you're doing as far as this movie is very important because it sets a precedent, and the precedence of our culture is very important.
Yeah.
It's not just the music genre or even music in general. This is essentially about our culture and our being here in America.
Right.
Because if they are able to take this, it will become a corrosive thing where it's all like, well, Puerto Ricans were 50-50 with hip hop. And then it will become, well, Puerto Ricans were like 50-50 with the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It
And
won't
and
stop.
then
Right. It won't stop.
exactly. And essentially we'll be a people in this country that really don't matter. That's essentially what this is trying to become.
Right.
And I'm glad that you're making this and that us as the community is really supporting this and stopping all of that narratives, because this is essentially, this is bigger than hip hop. Your movie is bigger than hip hop or music in general. This is about the culture. So I got to tip my hat to you for that.
Man, much respect to you, man. I appreciate that. But Afro Lee brings up a good point, man. This is about just us in general, just erasing us because it won't stop with the music. You see? See, we have to check this stuff. We should have been checking this stuff. We have this passive mentality where we're like, it's cool. We'll just create something else. No, just like with rock and roll, we let them wrangle rock and roll away from us and turn it into a white thing. We literally let these people wrangle that from us. Rock and roll was 100% ours, every bit of it, all the sensibilities of it, the distorted guitar, that's us, that's Jimi Hendrix. The screaming on records, that was Screaming Jay Hawkins, Tina Turner, and James Brown. That's where they got it from. They got that from us. You understand? The psychedelic clothing, they got that from George Clinton and them dudes. Do y'all know that? George Clinton and them dudes would put on all those psychedelic clothings and all that. The rock dudes got all that from them. Even when Parliament was at their height, they had the stylist, the person making those outfits for them. It was a gay Filipino dude who they got to do it. I forgot his name. But the same dude who was making clothes for Parliament, he was making clothes for also the LaBelles, Patti LaBelle. Look, remember Patti LaBelle and those guys? They used to dress in those psychedelic clothes. Y'all remember the LaBelles? Go look at old footage of Patti LaBelle and the LaBelles back in mid 70s. They were dressed like Parliament. Also, who else would dress like them? The rock group Kiss. Kiss would have on the same outfits because they had the same designer. They were getting the designers that were styling Parliament and those dudes. They got all that stuff from us, man. All of those elaborate stage shows with magic and um, um, pyrotechnics and all of that. You know where the white boys got that from? Earth, Wind, and Fire. They were getting that stuff from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire was doing all that stuff early on. They were getting all of that stuff from us. Yeah. So we got to really understand our history and what our get down is. All right, let's get Miss D. I think that's your name.
Hey, Tariq,
How are you, dear?
I'm doing okay. You are so on point. I don't know how you be knowing this stuff because did Madonna have a concert or something?
Yeah, and she do like a Michael Jackson tribute or something like that?
Well, I don't know because the clippings that's going around, she done stole trying to. Well, her daughter was up there dancing, and the clothes look grown that she had on. I went in the comments, and they was like, "Blue Ivy got 2 hours to respond."
Oh
So
Lord.
you are absolutely right. Like she's never did that before. Bring her daughter on stage and let her daughter dance like Blue Ivy did. That just took me out. I just saw it about an hour ago.
Oh well, I haven't even
And
seen that. Oh
and
Lord.
the clothes she had on, it was some kind of African dance, I guess, mixed up with some of the dances we do. And it was
Lord.
some shiny grown people clothes on the little girl had on, and it was just a lot going on. I was like, this is Beyonce all over again. This Blue Ivy. And then when
Wow.
I went in the comments, that's what they were all saying. Blue Ivy got 2 hours to respond.
Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
look.
Blue Ivy this. Blue Ivy comparing her to Blue Ivy.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna look that up, beloved. I'm gonna check that out. But I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised. Am I mistaken? I could have swore I saw a clip of Madonna doing some kind of Michael Jackson tribute, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check real quick. Let me look online real quick. Hold on. I could have swore I saw that. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick just to double check because I see so much stuff every day. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, she does this whole Michael Jackson thing with her daughter. I'm looking at it now. So, yeah, she done did like some little bootleg Beyonce and Blue Ivy thing. So, damn. Right as I'm talking about how they be ripping off our stuff, they're doing it now. I'm looking at it now. So Madonna's doing her version of Beyonce and Blue Ivy, and it's a struggle. And she's dressed like Michael Jackson, Madonna. She's dressed like Michael Jackson doing a quote unquote tribute. Do y'all know Michael Jackson hated her damn guts? Y'all know that Michael Jackson hated Madonna. Did y'all hear those secret videos? You know, they've been taping Michael and all this stuff, and they had some secret videos. Well, not video, but audio. Some secret audio recordings. And Michael was snapping on Madonna's ass. Oh, he was lighting her ass up. See, Michael, he in front of the camera, he's, oh, everybody, we gotta feed the world and the kids, and you gotta go bathe the oil off ducks when there's an oil spill. He's, all about the environment and the kids, but behind closed doors, he was vicious with it. And Michael, they had him behind closed doors. That Madonna, she's such a witch. She wanted to take me to a strip club, and there was homosexuals in there. I'm not a homosexual. I loves me some pussy. I don't know what she was thinking. Michael was going off, and they were kind of going out. She wanted to go out, and she started setting the rules. She was like, "Yeah, we can go out." She's like, "Yeah, I can go out, but I'm not going to Disneyland." Like, Trick, I didn't ask you to go to no damn Disneyland. Michael was snapping. Michael was snapping. Go find those recordings, dude. Y'all go find those recordings. Them shits is funny. Michael was going off. She's, she's a hater. She's mad because as a woman, she don't get the screams that I get. When I'm on stage, the women scream, and men don't scream for her, and women don't scream. So she's real haterish and bitter. Michael was going in. He could not stand Madonna. I don't blame you, player. Tweet, what's your name, man? With this big head on this thing, dude. Tweet, hop on, man.
Hey, what's up, Tariq? What's going on?
I'm good. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Hey, I just got a quick question. What's your opinion on DJ Envy with the whole scamming things? I know he's non-FBA, and also, what's up with Charlamagne? He doesn't invite you on there to promote your movies or nothing, no interviews, and that's about it.
Right. Well, you ask Charlamagne. I'm cool with Charlamagne, but you ask Charlamagne that. That's a very good question. Um, ask Charlamagne that. Y'all go ask him. Okay. As far as envy stuff, um, I'm I don't know the gist of it. I'm hearing some stuff. It was some real estate. I don't know the details of it. It was some stuff with real estate. I don't know. And my man is going through a case right now. Hopefully, it wasn't no scams going on. So I can't really speak on it because, to be honest, I don't know the particulars of it. I just don't know. But I hope it's not nothing janky. I don't want the dude to get caught up with nothing. But all right, let's get what's your name? Matro. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir, bro. Yeah, just had a question. Why do you have such an isolationist policy when it comes to the Israeli-Palestine conflict?
I have a what policy?
Like you're basically you're just like I'm neither on either side. I'm just like I'm minding my own business.
Right. I'm just giving the same energy. Same energy. Treat others as they treat you. I'm treating them the same way they treat us.
Don't you think it's the enemy of the enemy is my friend policy is better?
How about the golden rule? I'm gonna treat everybody like they treat us. When shit going on over here with us, ain't nobody saying nothing, ain't nobody helping us, ain't nobody doing nothing. So I'm gonna let them do what they do. They let us do what we do, we'll let them do what they do. Why is it our obligation to hop up and put a cape on?
Well, it's not so much that you have to put a cape on. It's like you're bringing more allies to your side, because there's one side that's clearly, being a culture vulture to your, culture, and
which side is that?
I think it's very clear which side that is.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Because the side that has the most music producers in the industry.
Oh, okay. Because when I look at both sides, it's looking kind of funny. And I talked about this the other day because when we have police officers who are trained to whoop down on us, they get trained over there in Israel. When we go in certain stores, some of these store owners who call the cops on us are Palestinian. The people who called the police on George Floyd were Palestinian. There was a Palestinian serial killer running around Flint, stabbing black folks. A lot of these little liquor stores that's in these neighborhoods exploiting us and calling the cops and beating us down. Some of these are Palestinians. So
yeah, but what does that have to do with the movie itself? Like I don't see any Palestinians getting involved in the hip hop industry except DJ Khaled.
Yeah, he's in the industry, but hell, the music industry is run by a whole bunch of different people. But that's neither here nor there. All of them are anti-us. So why should we put on the cape for any of them?
No, I'm not saying to put on the cape. I'm saying to kind of gain more allies in the fight, especially when it comes to your
allies. I mean, they've had a million years to be allies. If they haven't been allies to us now, they're not going to start. We've been putting the cape on and fighting for everybody, and when it comes to us, everybody's twiddling their thumbs. When is the allyship going to kick in?
Well, I mean, you can gain new allies. It just doesn't have to be.
Dude, we've been gaining. We've been trying to gain allies for the last, 60 years. We've been fighting for immigrants to come over here. We've been stomping for everybody, helping everybody get rights over here with the DACA programs. That's the Dreamer program named after our black icons. When are the allyships going to come in? When is it going to benefit us?
No, it's not about necessarily benefiting you at the moment. It's more of acquiring new allies in your fight, especially with this new movie coming out.
Okay, if we got allies in the fight, what's the purpose of having allies if we're not going to benefit from the allies?
Who's to say you wouldn't benefit from them in the future?
Have we benefited from them in the past?
You're talking about I guess you're talking about Africans, but that has nothing to do with Palestinians.
I'm talking about any so-called allies, any non-FBA allies. How have we benefited from anybody, any of them, any allies? How have we benefited from them?
Sometimes addition by subtraction is a good thing too. I mean,
that's called babbling. So you can't even name anything. That proves my point, sir. We don't have any allies. Ain't nobody allying with us. When it comes to us getting some help, with 2 + 2 = 4, you're just saying anything. But then we're supposed to go jump in front of the damn smoke bombs for everybody else. No, thank you.
No, I hear you 100%. I'm just saying there's one side that's clearly being a culture.
And by the way, where are you from? What part of South America are you from?
Not from South America. I'm from the what you would call the tethers from Minnesota.
Dude, what part of Central or South America are you from?
Not from South America, bro. I don't know what you're smoking.
Dude, I can hear Goya powder being sprinkled on some beans on your stove now. Where in South America are you from, dude? Stop playing.
I'm not from South America, man.
Where's you from, dude? I hear your Hispanic accent, dude.
I'm a full-blooded tether. Trust me.
I know that, but where's your family from?
Yeah, but if I'm a tether, I can't be from South America, can I be?
Dude, yes. A lot of tethers in South America who come up here. Where's your family from?
They're from Minnesota.
Okay. See, this is why you guys got to go back and fix your homeland, because you're so ashamed of where you came from. Y'all too ashamed to even admit it, and that's sad. So you can't call up us telling us who we need to back up and what we need to back up, and you're too ashamed to even name your homeland, dude. So let's get that together, and then we can talk about some ally stuff. All right, get out of here. Thank you, sir. Boy, the tethers, y'all are so ashamed of your homeland, and then y'all want to wag your finger at us. That's why I don't accept no criticism. Y'all don't come to me and say nothing about nothing. You can't even give props to your homeland. You're so ashamed. You know how pathetic that is, and then want to give us some damn socio-political advice. Sit down, dude. I ain't listening to you. How come you don't join them as allies? You need to join your allies. You join them and you join the fight. Man, y'all stop. Please, Tether, stop trying to give us advice on anything socio-political. I don't want to hear nothing from people who done fled. I'm not being mean-spirited. All I need to know is what type of running shoes I can get, because you can give good advice on that. What kind of running shoes are best for me to get when I want to go jogging? Because you got experience running. Not to be mean-spirited, but damn. Yeah, I saw. Did y'all see? There's a video clip I retweeted. It was a girl who's African and who looks African, and she's over here somewhere, and she was doing some kind of live, and people were like, they said, "You look African," and she was like, "How I look African? How you gonna say I look different? We all look the same. I look like y'all," and we're like, "No." No, you don't. Let me talk to my non-FBA people for a minute. Look, we got love for you. We do. I know we got a lot of non-FBA people in here. Let me holler at y'all for a minute. Listen, y'all don't be blending in like you think you do sometimes. Y'all listen. It's all love. Y'all really don't be blending in like you think you do. I think y'all come around and you think you're, and I'm just talking to the tether class who tries to be slick. I'm not talking about our riders and our allies. I'm not, because we do have riders. We do have some real allies. We do have riders who are non-FBA brothers and sisters who are beautiful, who are cool. But then you got the people who they think they can kind of sneak around us to be slick, and they think if they comb their baby hair a certain way or do certain things or put on a hat a certain way, they're just going to blend in. So when they do something weird, they think we won't know that they're a tether. You do know we can see you, right? We can tell. How can you tell, nigga? Dude, we can tell. We can tell. And then y'all be shocked that we can tell. Then y'all want to claim xenophobia, but shit. When somebody look at you and say, "Hey, are you Ugandan or something?" Wait, you nigga, that is xenophobic. We're all the same nigga, but I was right. How did you know? What makes you think I'm Ugandan? Well, damn it, your feet are ashy to be damned. I've never seen ash like that. Yes, ma'am, I see you. I'm looking at you. Your baby hairs start behind your ears. There's something different about you, ma'am. Yeah, we can see you. No, no, not to be mean spirited. I'm not being mean spirited, but we can tell. We can tell, and that's okay. Don't let Steve Harvey and all these people. Them Africans is us, man. We look like them, man. No, no, not in all cases. We can kind of tell. It's like when we go over there, they can tell. They know we're different. You know, we have different phenotypes. We do have some similarities, but shit, we know certain nuances. We know, all right. But it's all love. It is all love. Well, we got a lot of y'all in here tonight. Let's get my brother Malcolm the Mayor. Let's get Malcolm the Mayor out of here. Malcolm the Mayor. What's up, Malcolm?
Yo, Rick, what's good, bro?
What's up, brother? You still down in Atlanta?
Yeah, but I'm actually I'm overseas, brother. I've been in Colombia. I'm in Colombia, South America. I've been out here for about 3 weeks now.
Oh, word, word, word. What's the vibe out there, man?
Man, the vibe is lovely, man. I'm out here. I brought property out here, so I got a condo. I put it up on Airbnb. That's the hustle, man. That's what
Yeah,
these other races been doing. That's how they been getting rich. They get that overseas money, overseas
yeah.
accounts, man. I just want to
Yes,
I
indeed.
just want to encourage all my FBA people, man. Let's put some properties in different. Get this yang, get the dollar, get the it's a lot of money out here in the world.
Yes, it is. My man, I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you. Yeah, that is. A lot of folks are doing that. We were going to do that. We were going to get a rental spot out in Costa Rica. We're thinking about doing that. At the time, I just put everything into the museum out here. We were going to do that, but I put at the time we were getting the museum together. And I said, okay, I'm gonna just use that to get this museum popping. Just do something for the community. But yeah, we were down there in Costa Rica. We're gonna get like a spot on the beach and Airbnb it out and all that stuff. And I said, I'll do that later. Let me get the museum popping. But let's get Love AM
Hey, Tariq.
from. How are you,
I'm
dear?
good. How are you?
I'm good. Now, where you from, dear?
Ohio.
There you go. So, what's on your mind?
I wanted to say that I had a change of heart today concerning this Palestinian issue because I was siding with them and I had used my voice in a room to side with them, and I literally gained 150 followers just from being in that room and speaking because I found a lot of parallels between their plight and ours. But
Okay.
but then I just spent 24 hours arguing with some Asians and some white people on the app. So I'm over it. It is not a healthy
Lord.
expenditure of our energy to be trying to speak to what the fuck others have going on because they don't. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry for cussing.
Right. Now, what were the whites and Asians arguing with you about? What was their argument?
Low IQ, remedial
Oh, Lord.
things, crime stats
Oh,
beginning at 1960. Like, I can't do it, Tariq. I cannot. Like, it's not a healthy expenditure of our energy. I literally we just need to worry about ourselves. I literally, it makes no sense how all of these groups have these overwhelming anti-black positions. Like, it's crazy.
Real talk, sis. And listen. Thank you, Simon Lane. Family, and y'all notice there's a war overseas that literally has nothing to do with us, but it's all about getting us on board somehow. Notice that the whole narrative, even the guy who called up, it's all about getting us involved somehow. You got to get us involved because you have two basically white groups. When white groups are fighting with each other, part of the whole narrative is okay, we can't have this fighting going on too long. We got to drag some black people up in here so we can focus on them. When you focus on any white group or white subgroup beefing with each other, yeah, you got to divert the attention very quickly. You got to pull some black folks into it so that we can divert the attention back to them. We white folks shouldn't be fighting like this. You understand what I'm saying? There's always this insane desire to drag us in so that the focal point can be beaten up on us. That's why everybody wants us to take a side. So whatever side we take, they're going to jump on us no matter what. You see, I keep telling y'all, don't fall for the damn bait. That's a bait, guys. That's a damn bait. They're baiting us into these conversations because either side you take, they're going to attack you because the objective is to bring you in to whip on you as black folks. They need to divert attention away from these other non-black groups beefing so that we can be held up. Hey, come on. This is a reminder. We got to be beating up on black people now. Let's not forget what we're in this for. We got to save these whippings for the blacks. All right, just a reminder. All right, let's get Hitch Slap. What's up, Hitch Slap?
What's up, Tariq? I know you talk to a lot of people, but do you remember me? We spoke about a week ago.
Yes, I remember. Yes, we had a little debate. You're from Australia, right?
Yes, that's right. A lot of people kind of listen, don't talk, and DM me and whatever. And I just want to thank you for the polite conversation. You were very cordial and very polite, so thank you for that.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate that. Absolutely.
Two things I wanted to ask was kind of in our last conversation, you kind of mentioned, how do we're talking about the Jews, are they white? And you kind of said, well, how do you know who's white and who's not white? I kind of heard you mention earlier about East Africans and that they're different, like you guys can identify them, etc. It's got me thinking,
right.
If it's in your mind, it's in your own words, if it's very difficult to kind of ascertain are Jews white, who's not white, kind of how are you able to do it so easily for East Africans, etc., compared to Black Africans or Black Americans?
Oh, well, the thing is, we can tell where they're from geographically just by like certain facial features, foreheads, body structure, things like that. They're still black. All right. We don't say that they're not black just because y'all be trying to pretend that, well, Jews aren't white. But yeah, there are white people who are classified as Jews. Yes, you have Jewish people who are classified as white. But we can tell also by clothing, we can tell by certain swag levels. There's certain little nuances that we can tell that a person is non-FBA. Just the way their spirit is to a certain degree, the way they handle white supremacy, certain things they say, not just the way they say it, but just certain things they say. When somebody comes around us and say, hey, we don't need no reparations, immediately our antenna goes up. As foundational Black Americans generally don't say that. So little nuances can let us know where people are kind of from different geographic locations. They're not from our specific Black lineage. So again, when you say a Jewish person isn't white, how can you determine that?
I was a bit rushed last time, and I'm on a quick break as well. But what I should have said, kind of to be more specific, is Ashkenazi Jews are mostly white. That is to say, they comprise of the same ancestral groups that white Europeans do. But the exception is they have one extra cluster, sometimes called the Levant or the Levantine or the kind of Middle East cluster. And that's why they're kind of distinct. So it's not that they're not white at all or not European at all. They're mostly European, but they have an extra cluster that no other European groups have. So if you compare the Nordic groups, the kind of English, all the kind of prototypical, the Swiss, the French, none of them have the Levantine admixture, and the Ashkenazi Jews have it in a substantial amount. So that's what makes them substantially distinct, and that's why you shouldn't call them European, for example,
Okay,
or
so
white.
no, but here's the thing: when you walk into people, when you meet people on the street, or you interact with people on a daily basis, you're not going to have a scientific test. So how would you know a Jewish person from an Anglo-white person? Just meeting
Uh,
somebody.
Yeah, it's a great point. And some could make the same argument for Black Americans and kind of Africans, even though they're genetically distinct. By looking at them, you probably couldn't tell the difference. So one could easily mistake in those two groups as well. But what I'd say is that um, with most Ashkenazi Jews, the Ben Stiller, he's a famous actor, Ben Shapiro, these type of people, yeah, one thing that they rarely have is blonde hair and light features, light eyes specifically. So if you see a blonde-haired person in the street with blue eyes, you can guarantee they don't have any Levantine admixture, for example. So there's heuristics like that,
But
but you
dude,
do make a good
that
point.
that's hold on, that's rare. Blonde hair, blue eyed people are extremely rare, and most white people are not blonde hair, blue eyed. That's like a fantasy. Only people like that are like the Nordic people, the people up there in Sweden and places like that. You know, most white people are not blonde hair, blue eyes at all. So how do you know a Jewish person from an Anglo person?
Yeah, I'll make 2 points. The first point is yes, from a DNA test, that's the most accurate way to know. But the other way is if you showed people, if you did Ancestry.com and you found people that were 100% Ashkenazi Jew, and then you compared them, you kind of took photos of their face, and then you found people who were 100% European. If you were to show those photos,
I muted you because you're babbling now, and I don't really want to hear babbling, dude. Babbling is like y'all throwing in the towel. You're just babbling right now. I asked a very simple question, and then you just went all around the block, and I don't want to hear babbling. Just say that you can't tell. You cannot tell. All right, just say that. The answer is you cannot tell, and that's the point. So there is no differentiation when you meet people like that. This is why you have people who are Jewish who can just change their last names and kind of blend in and nobody knows. Just tell the truth. Let's not do the whole white supremacist shuffle. All right?
the question is how often can you tell? You can't tell 100% of the time, but is it better than random? That's the question.
Let me get some more people on. I'm not I just don't want to hear white supremacist babble, to be honest. All right. I don't want to hear that. You have so many people you can't tell. You don't know because there's not really a distinction physically. You're talking about some DNA strand. That doesn't mean anything because you're looking at a phenotypically white person. But Harrison Ford is Jewish. You can't tell. There's no Jewish features. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are white and Jewish. And Jake Gyllenhaal is Jewish. You can't. There's no features about him when you can tell. Yeah, yeah. Man, Twizzle. Let's get Twizzle in here. Yeah. I just didn't want to hear no. I didn't want to hear the Mayo babble this time. I don't want to hear Mayo babble. All right, Twizzle, hop on, man.
Hey, what's up, Flex? What's up with you, pimp?
I'm good, man. How are you,
You
brother?
know me, if I complain, nobody will listen. You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
No
man,
doubt.
these gentlemen on here are the pure definition of what you was talking about. First, Monty, whatever his name, he's the pure definition of when you're saying to where each time something go wrong, they want to come running to us talking about CCC, this, and that. Well, black people are minding their own business because When when the Asians got into it, who came there? When the Vietnam came and they put all them refugees to the neighborhood, who supported them? We did. And what did? They got our resources and they turned their back on us. Now with this Hispanic shit going on, when Donald Trump is locking all them in the cages, we came to support them. Now look at them. They turning their backs on us. So right about now, us black people are, as we always say, we holding our own nuts and we minding our own business. Because these fools nowadays, they trying their best to get what they can out of us. And right now, we minding our business and getting our reparations and taking care of home. Forget what's going over there in Europe, man. We taking care of home right now. And that's all I wanted to say, player. Go ahead and have a good night, man.
Much respect, fam. Yeah, we're looking out for ours as we should. We're looking out for us as we should, and do not be shamed into not looking out for us. Man, black family, we're not obligated to put the cape on for nobody. Don't let nobody shame us into putting the cape on them. Y'all hear my zapper in the back? I got my mosquito zapper. If y'all can hear it, I'll be lighting these mosquitoes up, baby. I don't be playing no games with them. But the Democrats tried this whole thing because we're saying to them, hey, we need not just reparations, we need a hate crime bill specifically that's going to protect us. And then the Democrats start babbling when we point out, you can do it, because they start talking with you. You can't do nothing for no specific group of people. The hell you can't. And then we point out that Asian hate crime bill, which is the COVID-19 bill. And they sit up and try to lie that it's not an Asian hate crime bill. And the hell it ain't. And I posted up a copy of the first page of it. If you guys look at my Twitter timeline, don't let these folks lie. They like to roll in those people. They'll start lying. Like, that's not nobody. That's not Asian hate crime. It don't say nothing about no Asian. This is about COVID. And then when you go read it, when you go read the first page of it, and you can see it on my timeline, the COVID-19 hate crime bill, the very first page, they use the word Asian about 7 times. It says following the spread of COVID-19 in 2020, there's been a dramatic increase of hate crimes and violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. According to the recent report, there were nearly 3,800 reported cases of anti-Asian discrimination and incidents related to COVID between March and February. In all 50 states during this time, race has been cited as the primary reason for discrimination, making up 90% of the incidents, and the United States condemns and denounces any and all anti-Asian and Pacific Islander sentiments in any form. I mean, dude, they say this shit with their full chest. And it goes on. Asian American businesses have contributed to diverse American fabrics of life, and more than 2 million Asian American Pacific Islanders, they are immigrants, and in the midst of this alarming surge in anti-Asian hate crimes, and they just start Asian, 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 and they go out of their way to say we condemn any form of anti-Asian hate crimes. See, right there, just having that in writing is big, because this is why if you get into an argument with an Asian person, they say it's a hate crime immediately. We need the exact same thing for us. See, we don't let them drag their ass about that. We need with the exact wording. We need that for us. We need to have them say, hey, we condemn anti-black racism in any shape, way, and form. Because you can't say nothing slick about an Asian person online or nothing. You can't say anything crazy. It's considered a hate crime. See, they know if they put this thing in writing, that's going to shut a whole bunch of stuff down. That's going to shut down all the Yahoo chat boards and all of the comment sections, because that's going to shut down 4chan, because all these people do is sit up and practice anti-black racism. But no, we have to say we don't want to accept that. See, it's all up to us. We have to say enough is enough. We keep beating that drum. See, we let a lot of shit go on that we should not let go on. We have to say enough is enough with this stuff. We have to not let that be normalized. We have to stop letting these folks run these games on us. And we got to stop being ashamed to say, hey, look, we need something that's going to protect us. Don't let these people try to pull the bootstrap game. Because as we see, our tax dollars are going here to fund all of these other groups. They come over here. Ain't nobody pulling nothing about no bootstraps. They're pulling themselves up by our tax dollars. And that's the real deal of that. Let's get Big King in here. Big King, or is it Beard King? Beard King, whatever you hop on, brother. Big King, what's up, man? All right. While we're waiting on you, let's get Primor. What's your name? Primordial Chaos. Guru Chachulu. Uh-oh. Guru
Hey, what's
Chachulu.
going on, Tariq?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
Good, thanks. I just wanted to post in the chat, and I just shared it so you can take a look. You posted a video earlier about one of the Israeli dudes who's killing a black man. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of times they do that stuff for like organ harvesting in the black market, which a lot of our melanated organs tends to support.
yeah,
So I posted some stuff in the
yeah.
chat by Dr. Richard King, who's done extensive research and books on melanin. So for my family, do some research, look at those links, and follow Dr. Richard King's works. He talks about melanin extensively, and many others too, Layla Africa and many others. But Dr. Richard King's one of the leading professionals on melanin. So a lot of this stuff's having an interesting conversation. Last point I'll mention, they're always trying to vie for our attention. Remember, attention is currency, and they use black energy and black attention for all the stuff they need to push. So if they get black Americans' attention on a particular topic, it can sway and turn the tides of war and any kind of thing. So just remember that, family. Be one. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. Good point. And fam, listen, let me put the tinfoil kufi on for a minute. My man brought up a good point. On my broadcast the other day, I talked about this Palestinian Israeli dude who was an Arab living in Israel. He was over here. He came over here on a visa, and he was killing a bunch of black people, just going around stabbing black people in a couple of different states. And they caught him getting on a plane on his way back to Israel. They actually caught him, the serial killer, targeting black folks. And I posted a news clip, and one of the brothers that survived, there's some black people who actually survived. The brother showed the scar, and the way the dude cut him all up his stomach, very surgical, like he was trying to remove some organs, like he was cutting the brother. That dude could have been on some organ harvesting thing, because they do a lot of that over there. Do y'all know that? Over in Israel, there's a lot of organ harvesting that goes through there. If you look that up. Egg. So this cat over here just killing black folks willy-nilly for no reason, targeting us, and we see why there's so many black folks who go missing. And then you see a lot of black folks who get found with their organs missing. There's a lot of cases like that. And this is why, man, we got to always watch our surroundings and never get caught slipping, because that dude was catching black folks at night by themselves. Black people just kind of moseying around by themselves or doing whatever. We got to be careful out here in these streets, man, and understand the kind of system we're in. We're in a system of white supremacy. All right, let's get August. What's your name, man? What's your name? August. Okay. All right, Miss August, hop on, ma'am. Miss August. Hello? Hello, ma'am. Okay. She was doing something she wasn't supposed to do. It might have been a dude on a catfish account and forgot he was using that. I think he made a mistake. I think that was a dude. I heard that, Lexi. I think that was a dude, and he got in on his catfish account. That's what he be using to trick niggas. He tricked other men into sending him money, and he was on his Finsta account. I know y'all niggas be doing that. Y'all be on here typing to dudes. Yeah, I'm real thick. Um, I look good. I'm pigeon-toed. My titties is real big, and my nipples is puffy, and I'm looking for some action. But you're going to have to cash out me $1,500. I know some of y'all weird niggas be out here catfishing. Yeah, and his catfish account was real active. All right, let's get different. Let's get different in here. All right, different. Hop on, man.
Yes, hello.
What's up, different?
Hey yo, Tariq, what's good, bro?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. The reason I want to talk to you was to ask about Grandmaster, what's his name, Grandmaster Flowers. Are y'all gonna talk more about him on the documentary because he was even
Oh,
before Disco King Mario?
oh yeah, oh yeah. We mention him. We talk about him. We talk about him and a lot of those Brooklyn DJs that were popping before they had it really popping in the
Yeah,
Bronx. It was them Brooklyn
it's
DJs.
King Charles.
DJ Chip.
Yep,
That was another one.
Plumber,
Um, um, uh,
DJ Plumber. Yeah.
Plumber. Yep. And the Fantasia. There was a group, DJ crew called Fantasia out there in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Um, Cool DJ D.
Yeah.
Uh, he's in the movie.
Oh,
Cool
I didn't
DJ D
know
is
that.
in the movie. Yeah, 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 dude. We're 10 miles
All
ahead of
right.
everybody on this.
It started
I
in.
say we got,
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
yeah,
It started.
we got everybody.
Oh, it
Go
started in
ahead.
Brooklyn then, except Bronx, because it's a lot of stuff coming out saying that it started in Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Let me
Yeah,
address
sure.
that. Well, here's the thing, man. And see, this is why we got to get the narrative straight. Look, a lot of hip hop didn't start in Brooklyn. I mean, didn't start in the Bronx. It didn't. It was something that was coming from all over the United States in the South. It went up there. There were things going on in New York, a little bit of flavor here, a little bit of flavor there. You leave out all the boroughs, man. There was a lot of other influences. The sound system thing that was coming from those brothers in Brooklyn. We discussed this in the movie. See, Brooklyn, they've left Brooklyn out of the narrative, and Harlem too. It was coming a lot of stuff coming out of Harlem. Yeah. The thing is with the Bronx, everything just kind of came together under one roof with Herc. You dig? And so I'm not taking anything away from Herc. I'm not. I'm not. And in the movie, we're not taking anything away from Herc. Everything, all of those elements just kind of came under one roof with Herc. So he started having parties with all the elements there. You got the sound system thing coming from Brooklyn, and even Herc. I mean, Herc has said, I was looking at some of these USA guys, some of these US dudes and their sound systems. I heard an interview where the interviewer was trying to get Herc to say he was influenced by the Caribbean sound system. I'm gonna play that clip if I can find it on my broadcast soon. And this the host was like, "Yeah, Herc, the Caribbean sound system. You had that going on, right?" Herc was like, "Nah." Were you influenced by some of the? There was a couple of Caribbean DJs in Brooklyn. Were you Maboya and all of these? Were you influenced by them? Nah, no, no, no. I wasn't influenced by them. No, I was kind of rocking with the U.S. side, what the U.S. brothers was doing. Flowers, Pete, DJ Jones, you know. I was kind of looking at what they were doing. Herc is very honest about a lot of stuff. If you ask him the right questions, he's pretty honest. And again, yeah, rhyming as we know it, that comes from Hollywood. Rhyming over, records, that comes from Hollywood. DJ Hollywood. Hollywood was from Harlem. And the Bronx guys were studying that. So we break all of this stuff down in the movie, man. We break it all down in the movie. This man, yeah, this is. I'm telling you, this movie is going to change the game. If you guys are not a part of this, when I say this is history, family. And it's grassroots, man. It's all grassroots. So we ain't got no gatekeeper. The reason why we haven't been able to tell the real hip hop story, and people know what it is because we depend on the corporate structure to fund these things, and they're going to have their agenda mixed in with it. And the agenda is to always wipe us out as foundational Black Americans and undermine our creations by putting other people in our creation stories. Whenever we create something, they make sure to crowbar in some other group. If it's constructive, all right? If something we do is constructive, they have to finagle it away from us. So that's why the story, until now, has not been told correctly. That's why there's been so much confusion, because for so long, the corporate structure, they've been funding these hip hop documentaries and they add lies, and those lies don't stand. That's why the hip hop narrative is shaky. We have to get things straight, and that's what we're doing for the first time in history. We're getting the shit straight, telling the truth about what happened without white mommy and white daddy putting their 2 cents in, because that's another problem. When we get some of the Vlads and people like that in the mix, they come around and just keep up more confusion. We let some of the vultures in our culture, and they're not going to get no real clarity. They keep up more confusion than ever, and then mix in BS narratives. This whole 50-50 Latino, that's a corporate thing. I want y'all to understand. There's a corporate entity that done sent Fat Joe, and all these people to say all that bullshit. That's why they're platforming dude the way they're doing. They're parading him around like that, and the dude ain't had an album out in God knows how long. And they're parading him around to say all this reckless stuff. That has to be checked by the grassroots. Heavy, you see. We got to stop letting people think that they're going to use us as their goddamn punching bags and just say whatever reckless and just take our stuff and be like, yeah, what you gonna do about it? Well, we're gonna show you. We're gonna delegitimize that ass. That's what we gonna do. All right, let's get Jason Giglia. Hop on, brother. Jason Giglia.
That's all good. Don't worry about it. I just want to say what's up to everybody. Would you ever consider doing a movie about all of the sexual assault that goes on in the music industry? I mean, I know you've heard the rumors for years about P. Diddy and then Africa Bubante. Um, what was going on with him molesting young boys and stuff in his time, and just how the music industry as a whole is just, it seems like they're just promoting all this ratchet, the sexy red and the young ladies twerking on the red carpet for the VMAs, or I think that was the BET awards, I'm not quite sure. But just like the just putting out this awful messaging to these young kids with, it just seems like they're trying to destroy a whole new generation of kids with all of this filth and madness, and it's just taking hip hop into a whole different direction. Like, I'm 47. I grew up with Common and Run DMC and Queen Latifah, and it was a consciousness behind the music. Public Enemy, Eric B and Rakim. It's like they was talking about something real, and it just seems like today it's all about booty shaking and just nastiness. It ain't no consciousness in the music no more. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Right, I feel you. Yeah, and that's what we're doing, man, with this film. We need a reset button because, again, like I said, because the hip hop foundation narrative has been so mythologized, and it's been um, finagled, and there's been so many untruths built on it and so much misinformation. There's been a shaky foundation narrative. The real narrative has never been put out there. And because the foundation narrative has been shaky, other people, they've been allowed to jump in and steer it any way they want to steer it. You understand? It's just like a house. If you have a house and the foundation is shaky, whenever a storm comes through, it's going to cause a leak. If there's a tornado come through, it's sure the foundation is strong. And we've sat here and we've waited for other people to tell our culture's foundation story and to map it out and get it right. And all they've been doing is lying and putting extra lies on top of extra lies. So it's more shaky than ever because they'd have made it a free for all where anybody can lay claim to it. That's something is weak if anybody can lay claim to it. That by definition makes it weak. You understand? If anybody can lay claim to it, it's weak. When you start gatekeeping things, that puts value on it. When you start saying, hey, everybody, you're not a part of the creation story. Now, you can enjoy what we created and you can indulge in it, but you're going to have to understand the origin of it, where it came from, and put some respect on that. You see? And that's up to us. That's up to us to do that. You understand? Let me tell you something. When we start, listen, notice from a political standpoint, we as black people, even though these people are shaking in their boots and they're not doing what we need them to do yet, family, right now, we're more politically strong. We're stronger than we've been politically probably in the last 40 years. Right now, I'd say, hell, I'd take it to the shit, damn near 60 years. We're more strong politically now. Oh, yes, we are. Because we're on code now where we're actively letting these people know we will cause you to lose a damn election by being on code. We haven't been that codified in a long time where we're causing these people to lose elections by saying, hey, we're going to protest our vote if you don't do what we tell you to do. We're going to punish your ass. And that's what we're doing. We're getting these folks out of office if they don't do what we want them to do. You understand? So we have to keep up that momentum. And we keep that momentum up, somebody's going to come along and do exactly what we need them to do, because people don't like taking L's over and over again. People don't like taking no L's over and over again. And this is what they fear, because a good independent candidate could come along with the right messaging and we can get that person right where they need to be. You understand? Hold on, we got a lot of folks in here. Now, who's this Kanye person? A Kanye person, you're making a lot of gestures. Why don't you turn your microphone on, Kanye person? Turn your microphone on. And let's see what you got to say.
I have problems in my country, man. Do you know what the problem is?
No. Okay. It's a musty Tether who's eating some curry goat somewhere. All right. Y'all, Tether's always pretending to be a black person online. Be who you are. Musty and eating goat meat somewhere. Just be who you are. So I'm trying to be a black person online. You're always trying to use black pictures. All right. And your trolling wasn't even creative. All right. Okay, let's see. We got a lot of folks in here. And while I'm talking, everybody go to um, microphonecheck.com. Everybody go to microphonecheck.com. Let's get Xander in here. Xander. Let's get Xander. Waiting on Xander. If Xander can turn that microphone on, that would be phenomenal. Or boss up. We're waiting on Xander.
Yeah,
What's up?
Tariq, I'm here.
What's up, boss up?
Nothing much, man. Been a fan over 15 years. Been following you and seeing your growth and your elevation, man. I appreciate everything you're doing for us.
Thank you,
Uh,
brother.
Real quick, I'm not gonna be long. Just 2 points. One to the prison colony cave critter that was on here earlier, talking about the how to differentiate between different white people. If you could really tell them apart, why were so many of that group working with Hitler? That
Yeah,
they passed as Germans. So that right there eviscerates anything you were saying. The second point was to these Palestinians that are out here. They're upset we're not caping for them and all of that. They basically want us to bring that George Floyd energy, how we turned up when that situation went down. But we're not going to bring that energy for the people who called the police on George Floyd. So,
right.
y'all got the game messed up. And I'll land right there, man. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Look, we're just not obligated to throw the cape on, man. I'm so cool, man. Man, we done it enough. Ain't nobody really riding for us, man. I'm saving my energy for the FBA family, man. That's what it is. We got too many of us that need this energy. I don't want to spend my energy. I'm saving my energy for election season. You dig? Election season is next year. Well, it's election season now, so I'm saving my energy for the FBA family to get what we need to get. That's where I am with mine. So we get out here spending our energy and wasting our energy for all these people, and there's not no reciprocation. Nobody's reciprocal. Nobody's thankful. Nobody's grateful. So yeah, they're gonna be all right. I offer prayer. I'm not on both sides or nothing, either side. I'm not taking a side for nothing. My name is Bennett. And where am I? Not in it. That's where it is with me. Anyway, let me get back to work here, man. I've been working on this film. Y'all don't understand how around the clock I've been working on this film, family. I've been just grinding to get this film ready for you guys. That's how it's so important. I'm just grinding around the clock to get this movie out, man. It's coming along lovely. We do need the family to get involved. Go to the Kickstarter page. We got to get a buck 80. We're at 72K right now, so we're doing good, but we do need you, all of you in the room. If you guys can go to microphonecheck.com, contribute, and be a part of the film, be a part of this historic movement, be a part of history, because this is going to be in the historic archives for the next 500 years. This is history in the making, for real, for real, for real. I don't understand. Y'all don't really know the gravity and the importance of this documentary. This thing is very important. So everybody get involved. Microphonecheck.com. And you guys, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I say Papia Kute and Lala Vuve to the family. Peace.